welcome to my try a chapter horror book tag video thing idea, whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. Is it called a book tag? Try a chapter horror edition. Let's get started. Okay, so I have 5 horror books that we're gonna try out today, right now. I'm really excited, actually. I've been waiting to film this for forever, and I'm super, super excited. So I have 3 physical copies of books, and then the other 2 are books that I'm gonna be reading like on my Kindle. If it's charged, I didn't even check to see. It probably isn't charged, so I might have to read it on my phone. Let's start with the books that I'm gonna be reading. I'm going to be trying out The Dead Girls Club, which I'm really, really excited about. This is an ARC copy. This doesn't come out until December, but it is a horror novel. I don't even know what it's about, so give me 1 second. This is about a dead girls club. They're obsessed with stories about serial killers, imaginary monsters like the Red Lady, which is a vengeful witch killed centuries beforehand. This one girl, Becca, I guess gets killed, and people say that it was from the Red Lady, but it says something about how, I guess, Heather killed her. It says the night Heather killed her. So I guess maybe it was Heather, maybe it was the Red Lady. I don't even know. Super excited about this one. The next I'm going to try is The Dark Beneath the Ice. This is by Emelinda Baruba. I also have Here There Are Monsters from her, and I haven't read any of her books. So this one says that something is wrong with this girl, Marion. She doesn't trust herself. She's doing things that she's never done before. She has to get the help from like a local psychic. I guess she's literally starting to be possessed. I don't even know, but I'm really excited. Then I have Lauren Oliver's Rooms. This one I got at the library. This one I think is a spooky ghost story. So this is about a family called the Walkers who moved into this house, and then there's 2 long dead restless ghosts who linger there named Alice and Sandra. It's about the living and the dead like living together in this ghost story / family drama. I think this is also a YA book. So is this one. Both of these are YA, I'm pretty sure. The next one I'm going to be reading is The Neighbors by Anya Alborn, and this one actually was recommended to me by my friend Tori. She says Anya is like an amazing like horror writer, so I'm really excited to try this one out. This one's about this guy named Andrew who I guess has kind of like taken care of his sick mom for his whole life, and I don't know if she passes away or exactly what it is, but yeah, he's gonna go live his life, and I guess he's like jealous, it says, of the house that's next door, and he feels this like darkness coming from it. We're gonna see what this one's all about eventually. And then last but not least is Suffer the Children by Craig DeLuey. And this one also was recommended to me by Tori. She said it was absolutely amazing. And this is more of an apocalyptic vampire horror novel. So it says that these people have Herod syndrome, which is an illness that suddenly and swiftly kills all young children across the globe. Soon they return from the grave and ask for blood, and with blood they stop being dead. That sounds crazy nuts. Oh my gosh. Okay, going to read the first chapter of which one first? Which one should I read first? I don't even know. Let's go ahead. I guess I'll just go in order of what I just said. So we'll read the first chapter of The Dead Girls Club, and I will see you back here in just a second. Okay, just finished the first chapter of The Dead Girls Club, and it was about 14 pages long. I already know that Heather killed Becca, or like that's what she said in the first chapter. Like she was like, I killed Becca when I was 12, and like Becca was my best friend and like stuff like that, which was weird because the chapter that I read was like in the time period now when like she's an adult, and I guess she's like a doctor or a psychologist or something like that, and she's married, or at least like I think she's married. Like I think it was her husband that they were talking about. And so the storyline is a little weird for me. I don't know like where it's going, but I think it's because it's like a thriller and horror novel. Like obviously I don't know all the answers to everything, but I actually really liked the first chapter, and I could easily see myself like flying through this. So that's really, really exciting. I actually have high hopes. I feel like this is going to be a really good book. Okay, next up that we're going to read is The Dark Beneath the Ice. So I'm going to read the first chapter in this one, and this one is a YA book. So I'll see how it compares to the adult one I just read. And it looks like it's only like 11 pages for the first chapter. This one's writing style isn't exactly my favorite. It seems more of that whole, like, I don't know, fancier writing, like more lyrical and metaphorical and stuff like that. In saying that though, this first chapter was a little intriguing because we find out like this actual girl, Marion, I think her parents might be like splitting up or something like that. Her dad like left and her mom is taking her to go stay with her aunt while I guess they like fix some things. I don't know exactly. And when she gets to her aunt's house, like she's like looking at this mirror, and then all of a sudden she hears cracking and her aunt like runs into the room, and Marion like threw this mirror down or like broke the mirror, and she was like, I didn't do this, like this wasn't me. Like she either had no memory of it or whatever it was. And the aunt was like, what is going on with you? And so like Marion doesn't even know if like she's the one that broke the mirror or not. So that's like the first like weird crazy thing that's like happening to her in the book. So that was kind of cool. Next up, we're gonna read Lauren Oliver's Rooms, and this is again a YA horror book. I think this one I don't know if I'm gonna like as much. Like it is more like ghosty, so maybe I will, but maybe I won't. I have no clue. Let's see how long it is. It looks like there's like a little prologue thing, and then it starts like part 1. So, oh, it's not even super long, so I'll read both parts. This one is definitely interesting. I didn't know it was gonna be from the ghost's perspective. So there's 2 ghosts, Alice and Sandra, and the first chapter was like Alice's perspective, but she was talking like to Sandra. But they are ghosts in this house, and they were seeing these people move into the house, so they were talking about like these actual people. So it's like really weird, like reading about like, I don't know, ghosts talking about your life if you live in a house. I don't know, it was kind of weird. But it was really like Halloweenish vibes to me, just because I guess of me knowing that I was reading from a ghost perspective. So that was really cool. I feel like this is a great book for Halloween. Now I'm going to read The Neighbors, and I think I'm gonna have to like read it on my phone because it's an ebook that I have. So let me go ahead and read that one. The Neighbors was definitely not for me. I was falling asleep reading the first chapter. I don't even know really what was going on. Yeah, so then I slept for like 30 minutes. So now I'm going to try Suffer the Children, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more interesting. Just finished reading Suffer the Children, and oh my gosh, out of all of the books that I read today, that one was the best, and I accidentally kept reading. So I almost feel like I might just go ahead and continue reading the book because I'm like so invested in the characters. It starts out with this mom that decides to do a like daycare in her house, and so she watches like 4 children and like one of her own. And you know, she's really good with the children. And then it moves on to another character who was firing someone in her work, and then she got a call from the first character, Joan, saying that like her son wasn't feeling well, and like her son has celiac disease. And so I think Ramona was that character. Ramona ran over and was, you know, yelling at Joan and was like, you know that he has celiac disease or whatever. And then she finds out that instead he like had accidentally eaten Play-Doh. But then it's gonna keep going on to like more characters, but it's really interesting because I feel like it's just like a normal book at this point, and soon something like really crazy and strange is gonna happen. But it was so easy reading like the characters and the dialogue and all that type of stuff, and so I really enjoyed this book. My number 1 for this was definitely Suffer the Children. That one is like fantastic, and I cannot wait to actually read it. I'm probably gonna go ahead and read it in October because why not? And then I think the next one I liked was The Dead Girls Club. I did think that this one was really good, so that's great. And then these ones were both kind of like okay to me. I feel like these ones were just really hard to understand within the first chapter, and so it wasn't like super intriguing. They're also both YA, which also might be the problem. And then The Neighbors by Anya Alborn, that one was like really boring for me and I fell asleep for it, so I'm probably not gonna be reading that one, or maybe I have to be in the right mood for it. So this was kind of my try a chapter for 5 horror books. If you want me to do another one of these, I actually have more horror books that I wanted to do a try a chapter, but I didn't want to make this video too long. So in like a week or two, I could do another one if you're interested. Just let me know down in the comments and I'll pick 5 more horror books, or even if you have recommendations of horror, and then I can add it to another try a chapter. But I actually really like these videos and I thought it was really great to kind of like do it as a genre during the time that people are reading this genre. I don't know. It was pretty interesting. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books, definitely let me know like what you thought about them, because obviously I've only read the first chapter. But I hope that you enjoyed this video and I will see you all in another video. Bye guys.